स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। Kedar repeated the following hymn to bring his mind down from the plane of Samadhi. Sri Ramakrishna is in Samadhi. Kedar is trying to bring him down to the normal plane of consciousness. From transcendental realm, he has to bring to the physical realm. Then he is singing yesterday we went through, first line, we worship the Brahman consciousness in the lotus of the heart. We saw what is lotus of the heart, the core of man's existence. Lotus of the heart. Stage by stage we enter inside the innermost core, which is the joining between our spiritual existence and bodily existence. There we see, if you stand there, we call it chakra. One step you go behind, you are divine. One step you come forward, you are human. Where man and God meet in the heart, that is the core of human, and it's called the lotus of the heart. There, the lotus represents, yesterday we already saw, lotus represents the consciousness, Chaitanya. It is Chaitanyik region. Just as soon as you close the nature's part in our existence, the spiritual existence begins. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya. End of the Vijnanamaya is the heart of man. So, where the infinite existence begins. That is there within us and beyond the nature, where nature joins externally to the Brahman. Here, internally to Atman. Atman is in the inner door to the infinite, and the outer door is the Akasha Tattva, from where merging back all the evolutes back to the source. Now, that Brahman we worship in the heart. Just if you reach the heart, the small opening, the 10th door within, where you see infinite. If you keep a step outside, if you enter the last step, if you keep, you are in the infinite Brahman. So there, in the lotus, if you go forever. You become one with the absolute existence, and you are one with Brahman. There, nothing is possible. If Divine Mother keeps a little ego, many come back to normal consciousness again to teach to mankind the path to absolute liberation, entering into life eternal of bliss, peace, love, absolute. So here we see, there they worship, because it is from there we worship. Now worship, what does the worship mean? You are at the threshold, inside, end of your bodily existence, opening, that is the heart, you can see the Chaitanya. There is no more nature, Prakriti you have crossed, and looking at the infinite. Now what is the worship there? What does worship mean? Worship is where we offer our senses, awakening the love. Now, love is what? There is 3 bridges we have to the Absolute. Between we, our existence, bodily existence, with all karmic load, we have to enter into the transcendental realm. 3 bridges we have. One is intellect, buddhi. Other is love, heart. And the third one is vak, the speech. These are the only 3. Now, the jnanapatha, Bhakti Pada and Mantra Yoga. Vak, it comes from the innermost core, stage by stage externally. From the innermost core it is emerging out. Para Pashyanti Madhyama Vaikari. The Para Pashyanti Madhyama Vaikari, it is taking a course. From the depth of our existence, it slowly manifests to the speech level. Speech level. It is emerging from the Chaitanya. All birds, animals, everyone reacting to the external world, they make sounds. They call each other. Fear they express. Pain they express through sound. Where from the sound originates? It originates from the consciousness, Chaitanya. So when it originates from the only living beings, because consciousness is expressed. So there alone they can create sound. It is because it is originating from Chaitanya, consciousness. If it is unconscious, it cannot make sound. And conscious thing alone can make sound. Now water falls, it makes sound. But it is not conscious, it is not coming out of consciousness. So it can never become vak, speech. It originates as sound, it dissolves in the nature itself. Here it is coming out of consciousness. It comes out, it's called is emerging from the consciousness, it's called para. When it comes to the mind, it takes the form of the word. Before it comes to the mind, it is traveling through the transportation places. It is coming from the depth to the mind. This is called Pashyanti state. And then it comes to the mind. It appears in the mind and takes the form of words. And it comes out through the mouth as sound. The para, Pashyanti, is transferring to mind the path by which it goes, Pashyanti, and Madhyama is taking word form, and Vaikari is coming out of the mouth. Para Pashyanti Madhyama Vaikari, speech comes out. This is, again we take a word associated with the divine, which belongs to the transcendental. Now God's form, the absolute existence, Nirguna Nirakara, Aham Brahmasmi, or something, Soham, as the without form, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhakti Vasudeva, Om Namo Shivaya. These are all universal plugs which I can, there's a divine is projecting, ready to be taken down. So jivas can plug and download. So I want something from the transcendental, I have to link myself. So this linking is the most important. So Shiva, the Absolute, is presenting through a form. And that from form, it is connecting to me. I can connect to that. I want to connect to the Absolute. I have some propensities. I love being alone and in joy. Then I love Shiva. I love all people. There is manifestation of love. I want to play, I want to sing, I want to dance. This love is pure love of Krishna. So these people will like Krishna's Satya Dharma, another channel. Rama is standing there. These are the universal plugs, where there is the authority, control over the nature, control over the beings, governing force, Durga. You can connect, where the motherly, extremely motherly towards righteous, and extremely cruel towards the unrighteous, because against the nature and favoring the nature. So this is somebody's nature that they cannot, injustice they cannot bear. But justice means they are ready to give their life. Those people like Durga, the Durga nature is already projecting there. They immediately plug there. Oh, this is my ideal, this is my ideal, this is my ideal. Each man will link. No, absolute they are linking. Now this is a bridge. This bridge, 3, I love Bhakti Yoga. I understand. I travel to that Jnana Yoga. I will discern what that Devata is, what is that power, what is that consciousness, what is Durga consciousness, what Shiva consciousness, what is Tattva, what is itsness in the Absolute. From Tattva, if I try to go through the Tattva directly, then it is Jnana Yoga, where my intellectual bridge is connecting. Another is, I love the Bhakti Yoga, another channel, another bridge between me and the Absolute. Another channel is Vak, speech. Only 3 channels we have that are connecting us to the Absolute existence, the transcendental existence. So now, in case of this Advaita, Brahman in the heart, the core of our being, we enter inside Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. End of the Anandamaya, you will have the 10th door to infinity. 10th door to infinity. Similarly, Bhubho Swama Janatapa Satyam, in the topmost chakra, from Agnya, if you peep beyond, you are reaching the infinite, there is a door called Chandra. Chandra is a door. The moment you cross the Chandra, you find the door to the infinity, Sahasrara. Like that, we have to travel to the, now that is another yoga, Chakra Bheda, all the chakras, Kundalini Yoga we call it. Somehow we have to transcend this nature and enter into. Wherever we go, there is a door to the infinite. Last we transcend one by one layers. In bodily existence, we are covered with so many sheets. We transcend. Last we find the door. At the door, he is standing, looking at the infinite. It is from the inside, he is looking at the infinite. So here, what is worship here? We worship, he says, we worship Brahman in the lotus of our heart. The lotus of heart is the core where the door is open directly to the infinite. From there he is worshipping. What is worship? Worship is where we offer our senses through awakening love. In dhyana, meditation, we offer our intellect. In japa, we offer our mind. In puja, we offer our senses. In physical services, we offer our bodily existence, karmendriya, pranas. So, various things are, speech is offered. Now here, we see the worship is where the last says, when we go inside, when we enter, we are already, Annamaya we are transcending, we are already left karmendriya and pranas. When we enter into Manomaya, we have been free totally from the karmendriyas and bodily existence. When we cross the mind and enter the Vijnanamaya Kosha, mind has to merge in the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Now, when we are entering mind is dissolving. We enter the Vijnanamaya Kosha. We are traveling one by one layer. Now from there, Anandamaya Kosha, we are leaving. Now when we go to Manomaya Kosha, we have mind, intellect and Panchajnanendriya, because we have left the Karmendriya and Pranas. From there, when we enter to Vijnanamaya Kosha, mind is dissolved. Panchajnanendriya and Buddhi alone is there. So with that, a body we attain called Prema Sharira. With that we see the form of God, Ishtadevata, presents. That is the Anahata Chakra, where that is the only place, heart of man which we saw, there alone God can manifest with form. If you go to higher level, the form starts dissolving. From Savikalpa, you will be going to the Nirvikalpa state. So here, in the Vijnanamaya Kosha alone you can have. In Manomaya Kosha you cannot have. Because mind is there, you cannot have the vision of God. In Vijnanamaya Kosha, mind is not there, because mind is always under the sway of vasanas, tendencies. When it is free from tendencies, vasanas, it enters into Vijnanamaya Kosha to get the form of God. And then the form also, trying to become one with the Ishtadevata, the form starts dissolving, both of Bhakta and Bhagavan. And we enter into Anandamaya Kosha. From there you see the door to the infinite. Now when we enter into Anandamaya Kosha, already the five senses are merging in the Buddhi. And ego is merging. Now, when you are at the door of the infinite, the 10th door linking to the absolute, the core of your being, there you see, you have the subtlest form of Indriya, Panchajnanendriya, it associated with the ego. And there the worship is, that is offered. The ego starts dissolving. All that from waking state to the samadhi, to nirvikalpa, buddhi and indriyas and ego had come. Buddhi means it always exists with ahankara. Need not be bad ahankara. It is Chaitanya-fied ahankara. It is Chaitanya, Aham Brahmasmi ahankara. And that ahankara is offered there as the last oblation. This is the worship there, where the individual itself dissolves in the absolute. We worship means the ego is totally obliterated. Only God exists, no more I. In thinking of Brahman, I dissolve my individual identity. This is Brahma Jnana. So the person is telling, we worship. The last remaining ego, which is telling Aham Brahmasmi, experiences Aham Brahmasmi, is getting dissolved. This is the worship at the highest point of human existence, the last, where God alone remains. He becomes one with that, Sayujya. So this is the worship of he says, we worship the Brahman consciousness in the lotus of the heart. The undifferentiated, there is no difference anymore, who is adored by Hari, Hara and Brahma. The conscious, universal consciousness, Ishvara, before the universe is forming, still in Tattvic form. Now I want to build a building. I have planned everything. Nothing I have touched now. Where is that building? In my mind, in my intellect. Whole building is there in my intellect. Now I have to gather the material and create it. A building which is there in my mind has to come into the material aspect. This building, when it is still in mind and intellect, we call it tattva. It is in the tattva form, thatness. In mind, it is in the mind form. In Chaitanya, it is in the Chaitanic form. The universe, before it comes, it is in the tattva form, in the absolute. It has not manifested. There, the consciousness that pervades, the last stage before the universe is manifesting, aparanada is going yet to come. Beginning of aparanada from Bindu, the Bindu of Sri Chakra, the universe is going to manifest in the absolute. Paranada is dissolved state, slowly waking up. Whole universe has become the energy, matter and energy interconvertible. Whole matter has become energy, and energy has merged in the consciousness. Just like we have entered into deep sleep, our all powers have dissolved, and again how it manifests. The manifestation to the Karana Sharira is called Paranada. From Karana Sharira coming to Sukshma Sharira, Sukshma Sharira to Sthula Sharira, and coming back to waking state is called Aparanada. When we go back Aparanada to the core of my existence, that is Annamaya, that is if we take the bodies, Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, gross, subtle and causal bodies, I am traveling, leaving. So this crossing back is also Paranada. We go to the Bindu, from Bindu we expand. This is the Bindu in the Sri Chakra. Again, same happens in the cosmic level. Again I shrink back to Bindu and again project. From Bindu, external is Aparanada. From Bindu to the Absolute is Paranada. Now, Aparanada, Paranada. Now, undifferentiated, adored. Now, this universal consciousness at the Paranada, that is Aparana, from Paranada ending and Bindu. From Bindu, in Bindu, the power Shakti spins, dragging the Chaitanya and expanding itself into the universe. Akash, Akashad, Vayu, Vayu, Agni, Agni, Apa, Padvya, Prithvi, one by one is descending. The whole universe formed. The Chaitanya, without which the universe cannot be formed, it is the base. Without Akasha, we cannot have any material objects. Space must be there, otherwise nothing can exist. Like that, the Chaitanya must be there for the universe to form. This Chaitanya, which is pervading the whole universe, the consciousness, is called Ishvara. Now, just before the Ishvara form takes place, in the Bindu, it is just Aparanada is going to start, is called Parameshvara. When the universe is formed, we call it Ishvara. Now, this Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, when the creation is taking place, the Parameshvara is associating with the knowledge, jnana of the creation. That jnana, which was what was the last stage of creation, the same stage must come again. The process of knowledge must be known, and the last stage must be known. That is stored in the absolute Icha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti. Jnana Shakti possesses that. When Jnana Shakti is called Saraswati or Sharada, the Chaitanya gets associated with the Jnana Shakti, Saraswati, and is called Brahma. Same Parameshvara. Parameshvara, when he is Jnana Shakti is projected, he called Brahma, with that knowledge, he creates the universe. Universe manifests. Then when it is complete, all jivas have come back and the last stage of dissolution has come back, immediately its purpose is over. Now the same Parameshvara, now Jnana Shakti dissolves. And then the other maintenance, the power of maintenance, creation is over. That knowledge is no more needed. It's already there, pervading. Now another power comes into, another Shakti comes into the management, governance. This Shakti is called Mahalakshmi. When the same universal consciousness gets associated with this power, we call it the Vishnu. Brahma, Vishnu. Hari or Vishnu. And then when again the time comes for dissolution, the maintenance part is over, long millions of years are over, the universe is expanding to the optimum, again starts shrinking back. The power which makes it shrink back is called Mahakali. And the Chaitanya, same Chaitanya, now it is taking different parts. Just like I am there, morning I am going to taking classes for children, I am called a teacher. Afternoon I go to the office, I am called an officer. And then in the evening I work as a tailor. I am called a tailor. Now person is same, he is according to different activities, he is getting different names. And his costumes, everything changes. Well, teacher, I will put on a coat and dhoti and a cap on this one, and I go to the children to teach. When I am in the office, my dress again changes. I put on a hat and boot and all that. My form is changing, but Vyakti is same. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara is same. One Vyakti taking different parts. In the evening, I am a tailor, tape on the head, in the shoulder, and scissor in my hand. Person is same. He is called tailor. Like that, Parameshwara is called Brahman in creation. Parameshwara is called Vishnu during the sustenance period and dissolution period. He is called Maheshwara. There is one appearing as many. So these three also are merging in that, in the Mahapralaya. Who adore, who is adored by the Absolute. From there the Brahma Vishnu forms appear. The Shuddha Chaitanya is taking different forms and again dissolving. So Brahma Vishnu, they adore. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.